So another notch on the Vegapunk genius belt is the fact that Vegapunk has made essentially Elon Musk Hyperloop with these vacuum rockets. Hey yo, Elon, step your game up. Twitter right now, a bit of a mess to say the least, a bit of a kerfuffle. Give it to Mr. Beast, right?
Hello there.
And then you can get back to creating all that other fun stuff. Please! Of course, this chapter is, the main focus is not the vacuum rockets, though to be quite frank with you, the term rocket. Oh, I do wonder if there is another type of vacuum rocket somewhere on Egghead Island that can go straight up, let's say in the vacuum of space, and we get to the moon. Especially, let's say, if Kizaru and this gigantic fleet of marine ships, or let's say, encircle the entire island. What if that happens? What if, let's say, some of these marine ships are the G14 marine ships, and there are sword members on that ship that want some Seraphim to go and fight against Blackbeard, and Sword and Shield don't like each other. There are so many options, and the fact that this dude Oda during Jump Festival was talking about the Battle Royale of 2023, like you can see how there are just like an insane number of possibilities of what could be going down in the very, very, very near future for clashes and full-on brawls. Now, if you haven't seen my live stream reaction to the chapter, link in the box below to, of course, my Cole Requiem channel. And of course, if you want to see my anime reaction content, you can go to my Kingu-san channel, also link in the box below. Please do so. Obviously, I am beating around the bush. Luffy is just...
Go crazy! Go stupid!
Hey, yo. Oh my god. This... We're not too sure what exactly he did to make these goggles. Him making these goggles is what?
I don't know.
Luffy in this chapter does a lot of zany, gnarly things. In this chapter, he literally becomes the Tasmanian devil. And that's Rob Lucci with this blooming white whip, which apparently the blooming white refers to the dawn and then the dome sound effects that you get. Luffy tapping it slowly but surely. He's tapping into his inner Popeye the Sailor because he's doing very weird stuff, and I'm not too sure where it ends with this guy. So this blooming white whip is one thing, okay? It's one thing. And him being a cyclone, drilling literally down to the ground as he just spins. Okay, it's crazy, it's wild, that's one thing. But then when he comes out of the ground and is literally a gigantic mouth, a gigantic Pac-Man, tries to swallow Rob Gucci. Hey, yo! He spits. The levels of disrespect. You have to... He spits on him like a Birdo from the old school Mario games. Just spitting, just these nasty loogies. And Rob Gucci, he has to actively block loogies. Not a good sign. Not a good sign, Rob Gooch. And just when you think the madness stops, no. When he turned one of the vacuum pods into rubber, and it's stretching and bending, and it's ready to springboard, and this madman makes dude, I don't know. Okay, here are the options. Number one, it's Luffy's hair plus the weird smoke effects on his body, where those things can actually transform into whatever Luffy wants them to transform into. One person made a dono about it's almost like a nanite version of Toon stuff. The second thing is that Luffy can actually manipulate matter, because we see in the Kaido fight, he grabs a lightning bolt and turns it into rubber. So there is a degree of energy manipulation on the part of Monkey Jesus. And you could argue, okay, well, it's just to make things rubber. But the detail of these glasses would imply, or these goggles would imply so much more than just manipulation. It's so refined that based on his image of what goggles should be, he's able to instinctively refine it to it. And he's able to manipulate matter in that degree. 3, which of course is the scariest. This is the scariest possibility right now. It's straight up Toon Force. It's actually straight up Like dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's straight up Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, Wile E. Coyote, Meep Meep, gnarly action. When it was that poof sound effect, he generally poofed into existence a pair of goggles. Another way of conceptualizing this would be that Luffy can just simply alter reality at will. And he may actually be able to do so via a long-standing power trope in One Piece, willpower, via the abilities of the Hito Hito no Mi Maro Nika. Now, more than ever, I think, I need to see the anime. The anime is a long ways away from getting here, that's for damn sure. But I got to see the details. God damn. I'm just looking at Luffy just do like the gnarliest things. And Rob Gooch.
I don't feel so good.
Yo, like that hit that he took, that knocked him out. That one shot, the blooming white rocket. Oh, and how his stomach just caved in the way and ballooned the way it did. How much Pepto-Bismol does Rob Lucci need for the rest of the week? Because he's not eating solid foods anymore. He's not. Now for a good 3 weeks, he ain't eating solid foods, period. Yeah, he did recover coming to the chapter, fair enough, fine.
Cap.
But nah. His legs, if you zoom in really closely, they're shaking. Woo! It's taking all of Rob Gucci's willpower just to stand up. That shot was nasty. And yo, the craziest part about it is that as far as I can tell, how much hockey is being used in this, like actual, genuine hockey. When Luffy transformed the second time in the Gear 5 against Kaido, he did utilize a sort of passive aura of both Conquerors and Armament Hockey, but we did see the lighting effects at that point in time when he was going to Gear 5. We have no idea if that happened at all when he went to Gear 5 against Lucci at this point in time, and who's to say if it's consistently on or off. The only reason why we know ultimately is because Kaido told us. But there was no techniques being used. There was no hardening. There was no Conqueror's Hockey infusion at all. He used hardening one time, and I have no idea at all if he used it here against Rob Gucci. No idea. So hockey could be used, but just passively, meaning that it's like the basic invisible stuff, and he's just wailing on him. Nah, yo, Luffy is built different right now on so many ways, and I cannot wait to see those details. When Vegapunk gets his hands on Monkey D's, which he is there, they may go in greater detail about him and his abilities, because Luffy is doing both the Paramecia and the Zoan Awakening ability at the same time. He's turning old, or he's quote deflating after he uses like the whole Gigant form, or like Surigigant. Like whenever he expands some crazy way, he may have to deflate. So like his head became massive, like huge, almost like Ivankov. Like when Ivankov does like the Emporio Hormones injection, like his head just gets bigger and bigger. It's the same thing here. Dude, there's so many possibilities Oda could do. If Oda could take it to the point where he starts to actually bend like the manga panels, it's like, yeah. Because Luffy is bound to get more powerful, way more skillful with his abilities. I'm not too sure because I think he should. Because when he's in Gear 5, there are some drawbacks for sure. And because of his zany, Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote, Tasmanian attitude, he may not have the mental focus to actually use hockey unless it's like a really serious, tough fight. But I think Gear 4 still matter? Maybe? There are various things that could apply in the near future. But all in all, Rob Gucci, he catches that L as to be expected. So it looks like Rob Lucci versus Kaido, because Kaido took several of these sort of shots from Luffy, where his like whole body expanded and his organs got demolished. He took several of those and kept it. He took one to the face. Hey, yo. Not awakened, allegedly, fair enough, fine. But land, sea, and air, baby. Land, sea, and air, respect the name. Now, what's also respectable, too, is Vegapunk's knowledge on Devil Fruits, which continues to expand more and more and more. As far as I can gander, it's not clear if these Zoans that are synthetically made can awaken, but given more resources, he could make the mythical type Zoan abilities. So that's what probably took him like 20 plus years to actually make Kaido's fruit, the one that Momonosuke ate. The Logias are tricky, which I think makes a degree of sense because they are elemental based fruits. And those fruits are, you can argue, the closest to nature, and nature technically doesn't like double fruits. Kizaru's ability for the pacifista is there, but then there's a good chance now we won't see anything, let's say, magma abilities or ice abilities or that kind of stuff, or let's say wood abilities for other pacifista. Also modeling other admirals. And then we have, of course, the talk about the Seraphim, how nasty they are. The S-Snake stuff, they were jokes in chat. Like, hey, yo, CP doesn't mean Cypher Poe anymore. I'm like, no, no, no. Whoa. Look. Oh, my God. Look here.
Look here. Look here.
Listen.
Look, listen.
There are cultural differences between countries, whether we like them or not. And if you've watched enough anime, you know full well that Japan, they do things a little bit differently, for better or for worse. Particularly in the otaku culture, they just kind of they move at a different pace. If you really want to be generous and justify, it's more of like a parental sort of like love, right? Yeah, like everyone naturally has instinctive parental, let's call them that, instincts. And then S-Snake can tap into those, and then boom, they'll turn to stone.
Cap.
That is me being very, 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 very generous. And to be fair here, Oda has confirmed in the past that even if someone like Blackbeard got the powers of the Merimera no Mi, folks would still turn into stone, but it'll be fear-oriented, not love-oriented, because it's essentially derived from great emotion, and those emotions aren't necessarily based on the Eros emotions. But I'm happy to see that when it comes to her ability, at the bare minimum, the idea of the green blood being the key thing here is nice. Because I did want a restriction, because Frankie actually says what I've been saying, what Oda said in SBS a long time ago about how there can only be one type of fruit that exists at a given point in time. And in this case here, it's all synthetic, confirmed, but it seems that's only predicated on the green blood. So if the green blood is, let's say, gone, or it's destroyed, then in theory, they cannot use that ability. So the Seraphim can probably still fight, but they can't use said power. I do like that because that does give a restriction, which I wanted to see, a restriction on using those Parametric abilities. This is all well and good. I like Oda's going this whole content for damn sure. Things looking great. Apparently the scans are going to come out early next week for the chapter 1007 release, so we will see soon enough on what the deal is with this whole blockade, this like massive Buster Call like move on Egghead Island.